go ahead and take a look. He is playing that Joltik right on up against Benjamin, playing that Dragapult Badu, and it is going to be that slow pult version. There's no Dust Nor in sight now, so it means a little bit of a harder matchup against this speedy Joltik.
Yeah, the pressure that Iron Hands applies with that amp you very much attack. We thought we were all free from that after Raiden with Raichu and those electric generators, and the double turbo went away with rotation of the regulation F mark, but Joltik just made it come back, and it's wreaking havoc. I mean, clearly the deck is working in this huge field of Dragapult. I'm sure Alex has been up against a ton of Dragapult already along the course of the tournament, and here he is staring down another one. And pretty cool to see both of these players are first-year masters. You can see Benjamin got top 4 in Honolulu at the World Championships just this past season, and Alex got top 32 in Toronto Regionals last season as a senior as well, and has now had a top 64 in Louisville, and now all the way in top 8 here in Milwaukee. Alex is not the only one that did well in Louisville. Benjamin making top 8 at the beginning of this season. Now both players in another top 8 here, trying to make it into semifinals and potentially finals. Again, both these players, like you said, super young. They're just a couple of children up here, you know? Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see all this young talent already making their mark as a Masters division, and they have all future ahead, right? They already are seasoned players from the senior division, and now we're seeing that they can go toe-to-toe against anyone in the Masters division as well.
I am excited for this matchup, Pablo, specifically to see how Benjamin kind of navigate just the overwhelming power that Joltik has in these early turns of the game, especially when we don't have something like Rare Candy to be able to get out the Dragapult EX early.
Yeah, no Rare Candy can't get to the Dragapult. The only things that withstand and empty very much are Sensitivity EX, Blood Runner, Saluna, and that's it. So pricing here, Monkey Dory, probably not too relevant in this matchup. I mean, maybe Mindbend is actually relevant. The Latias EX being priced though, and the Rescue Board could make it so Alex has a bit of an awkward time maneuvering around his Pokemon, and could make it so that a counter-catcher body play from Benjamin buys him just enough time to withstand the pressure, or just make Alex not attack with that very much for a single turn, which can be huge in these matches.
Does seem like both of our players are set up and ready to go here. Pablo, get excited. It is our top 8 for Milwaukee. These players already have some money in their wallet for making top 8, and it is looking like Alex is going to be going first, and that's not the best for this Joltik deck.
Yeah, Benjamin probably won the coin flip, chose to go second. That means Alex will have a sort of chill turn. We get our basics down, but we already benched Iron Hands, and we don't know that the Latias EX is prized yet. We're going to find out now as we are putting our Pokemon in the front, energy at the back. If Benjamin has a boss's orders in hand to bring this Iron Hands to the active, that could cause a lot of problems for Alex here.
Yet only the one future booster energy capsule to try and help that Iron Hands EX to retreat back to the bench. And looking through the list, I guess there's Iron Leaves EX as well that could do it. Now, one card that it could be kind of good against something like an Ampy very much on Dracloak is that Defiant, or no, I thought it was Defiant, it's Defiant's banned in the list, so that will help at least take a one-hit knockout on Iron Hands EX with the Dragapult.
Yeah, as long as there's no Bravery Charm on it, 230 will be enough. And the one thing that's guaranteed for us to see here, Jeremy, is Benjamin fall behind in the price cards quite quickly, right? Which a lot of decks use that to their advantage, so it's okay to go behind in price cards. I see this in a lot of players, like they try to do their best to stop their opponent from taking price cards. But in doing so, they're not taking price cards themselves, and so they are not getting closer to winning. So it's okay to play from behind. A lot of these decks are designed and have the right tools to play from behind and make powerful comebacks.
Now, one kind of strategy against a deck like Joltik is to Iono them to low hand size Unfair Stamp, which Benjamin is playing, but there is a copy of Genesect in Alex's list. We could see him kind of prioritize that once he starts attacking.
Yeah, that Genesect is a very cute inclusion. Both players have Genesect in their deck, so we could see a denial of that Prime Catcher, we could see the denial of the Unfair Stamp. I think the Unfair Stamp is definitely the more impactful card, right? Prime Catcher, I mean, sure, it's fantastic, but there's also 4 boss's orders. Yeah. Denying one of the costing effects, not as impactful as denying that turn 2 Unfair Stamp that just takes away your whole hand. There are 4 Ionos as well, but Iono to 5 on turn 2 is way better than Unfair Stamp to 2 on turn 2.
Now, Alex did do pretty much the standard turn 1 for this deck. You attach energy to the Joltik, almost guaranteed not to get knocked out against a deck like Dragapult, and then you were able to have that Miraidon, get your Iron Hands and Pikachu. Those are your 2 attackers for this matchup, and now it is up to Benjamin to try and establish a Badu, hopefully get something like that boss's orders like you were saying.
I didn't see any boss's orders in hand for now. Like, this is turn 1, right? Then you know your opponent's going to use Jolting Charge, get energies into play. As long as you can evolve into 2 Dracloaks, even if one goes down or whatever goes down, then you'll have the Dragapult EX ready to go, right? So that's pretty clutch here, and that's going to be Benjamin's priority. Get as many Dribbies out as possible, and get as many of those evolved into Dracloak, so that once you get to Dragapult EX, it's out of range of the Pikachu EX's Topaz Bolt attack. Obviously, it can't be Ampy very much, so as long as you manage your bench correctly and don't give them too many options to use Ampy very much to take the prizes, you should be in a good position. But yeah, Topaz Bolt does 300 damage, Dragapult does 320. I've seen some of these decks play the Mountain Stadium that reduces stage 2 HPs by 30 to put Dragapult and Charizard in range of Topaz Bolt, but I'm not seeing that here.
And no Gravity Mountain in this list, so that means Alex is going to have to kind of maneuver around a little bit, use those 4 copies of boss's orders and that Prime Catcher to try and take knockouts on these low HP Pokemon. And Benjamin's going to try to get some energy in play as well. That's another big thing. You can get double Dracloak in play, but if you don't have an energy on each of those, you won't really get an attack off on the following turn. Benjamin does have some assurances against that, as is playing 1 copy of XP Share. Other than that, you really just need to try to find these energy.
Yeah, energy attachment so crucial, and it feels like it's so crucial, and all these Dragapult decks are so greedy, right? They're playing 6, 7, sometimes 8 energy, but they need to be attaching energy each and every turn, playing such a low amount. I mean, clearly it works, they get away with it, but it's super greedy in my opinion.
Yeah, and another thing to note is Benjamin is playing the list with 3 Luminous Energy, so if Luminous Energy is your first attachment, you can't XP Share that back to the bench, and we actually see the attachment of the Psychic here, but it's used to retreat into the Badu, so Itchy Pollen going to shut off item cards for Alex, but who needs items when you already got the Jolting Charge ready to go?
Now, one key extra piece that Benjamin has as defense against the high amount of pressure that Alex is going to start putting onto next turn with that Ampy very much attack is a Blood Moon Saluna EX, right? That's become a staple in Dragapult EX decks, and therefore that's out of range of Ampy very much. And with the Halucha combo, you could place 1 damage counter onto the Pikachu EX, take away the Resolute card ability, and take a knockout in the late game. So that could be something we see later down the line. For now, we're going to see this Crispin, get a couple energies, 1 into play, 1 into our hand. I don't know if there's much else going in the hand right now. And then we're going to see the Jolting Charge as well. So there's going to be 7 total energy, or 8 total energy in play this upcoming turn. No, 7.
It's still a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's more than I can count on my fingers right now.
And there we go. Jolting Charge. Going to get those 4 energy into play. Metal and Psychic energy still available. And that's something we haven't touched upon, right? These decks also want to go out of their way to counter the Dragapult EX, and they are usually playing Lily's Clefairy EX to have that quick resolution with a Crispin onto those Dragapult EXs.
Does tax the Crispin though, but there's 4 of them in the list. You know, it's always great when you can play a list that plays 4 Bossasaurs, 4 Crispin, 4 Arven. Do you really need anything else?
I mean, probably not. Some item-based disruption. That's the one thing that this deck is missing to be the perfect deck, but you can't have it all.
Nope, can't have it all. It does look like Benjamin's starting his turn now. There's a Buddy popping for another Badu.
Question is, can we get to the Dracloaks? That is the big thing here, and not seeing any Dracloaks whatsoever. There's a switch and a Hawlucha in hand, so just committing to the Blood Moon. Alex doesn't have too much great stuff either in his hand. No Arven, does have the Genesect, but no tool card to potentially deny the what he would expect to be an on-first stamp sometime soon. But yeah, I mean, Benjamin's hand is just so bad. I think we're just going to see the retreat, and thank you very much for the first 2 prizes of the game.
Not even needing to use the Boss's orders in hand, just selling for the 2 prizes there right in front of him. And it is now Benjamin's turn yet again. Finds a Fire Energy, but there's no out to a Dracloak or a supporter.
We're going to see the Hawlucha nullifying that Resolute card ability and taking down the Joltik.
Gets
and
Professor
Research. Wow. One of the best prize cards possible. Incredible scenes here.
Gets an energy on the Dreepy, and there is that Professor's Research. What a pull from the prize cards. Thanks to that flying entry from Hawlucha. And we do find our first Dracloak here.
Now, Alex does have that Boss's orders ready to go, so we want to see ideally a Dracloak. And what do you know? Dracloak finds Dracloak. How many times have we seen that this weekend?
A lot. All right, best case scenario, XP share. No.
No EXP share found. Both good cards, just not very useful right at this point. The Nestle will find Sensitivity EX potentially next turn after a knockout is taken. Now, I think it's going to be Hero Blood Moon this game. If you get balls, thank you very much, out of your energy on the Dracloak, then you can respond, right? But the Pikachu EX is waiting. Yeah, I mean, there is a counter catcher, right? Which we're going to use now. There must be another costing effect as well, readily available. But, I mean, you need to take down this Pikachu with the Blood Moon. Otherwise, yeah, the game's pretty straightforward and just ends almost immediately. But then it comes down to, does Alex have another Boss's orders or a Prime Catcher to knock out any of these bench Pokemon that will be available to him? You can even take the Boss's orders right now. Just keep it in hand.
Unfortunately for Benjamin, or not, has the rescue board in hand, even played the Bravery Charm on the Genesect. So now the Ace Nullifier is activated. There's Ampy very much. 2 more prizes, and that Pikachu is waiting in the wings with another Boss's orders, potentially.
We need to see Iono right here, right now. Otherwise, Alex already has the Arven 4 Prime Catcher. That very clutch card. So Benjamin has to make an impossible decision here. You have to take down the Pikachu, and you have to Iono. There's no other way to win this match. And with Iono, you need to hope your opponent doesn't find one of his 3 other copies of Boss's orders, or one of his 4 copies of Arven, or his Prime Catcher. There's just so many outs here.
Yes. So Benjamin does have the option with Nest Ball in hand, along with Rescue Board. You can go ahead and get that Genesect of your own.
Yeah,
and use your own Ace Nullifier to shut off that Prime Catcher. Has the Boss's orders in hand to take out that Pikachu EX. And it looks like Benjamin is doing just that. All right, this is the one route to try and stay in this game, Pablo. Can he do it?
The one route indeed. That Ace Nullifier ability coming in so clutch. Genesect came out almost a year ago in the Shrouded Fable set. It wasn't being played at all pretty much, and now we are seeing its impact over and over. That Ace Nullifier ability is so good, but oh, there is a tool.
All right, Ultra Ball, that's going to net another Dracloak. You can also get that Dragapult and just bulk up on that HP, but we need to draw some cards.
You can see Alex being very fidgety in his chair. He knows he has the possibility to win if the tool doesn't come down onto a Genesect. Unfortunately for him, it will happen. So doesn't have an S-Ball. He can go for Sensitivity, and he can try to find one of his 3 remaining Boss's orders to take down any of those Pokemon on the bench.
Didn't get to take a peek at this Recon Direct. It looks like Dragapult EX is going to be the choice here. Night Stretcher is the other option that could get an energy from the discard, but you already have that Luminous in hand.
Right.
A tricky turn for Benjamin here.
Yep. Arven denies that on first stamp, as both players are nullifying each other's A-specs, or Benjamin is about to. Just double-checking his prize cards to see what is and isn't available to him. There's 1 fire in the prize cards, there's 1 Monkey Tori, which is probably not crucial. There is an energy search, which probably makes Arven a little more awkward to see the attachment, and we have to see Boss KO and Pikachu. So honestly, that flying entry Hawlucha coming in so clutch here.
Oh yeah, turning off that Resolute Heart ability from Pikachu EX, allowing this Blood Moon to be able to take the knockout.
Oh my god, he didn't attach the tool to the Genesect! The Prime Catcher is live!
Had the Rescue Board in hand, but didn't attach it.
I think Alex is going to play the Nest Ball, double check that the Prime Catcher is available. There's no tool card. It was in the hand. It's right there, and it didn't get played. So Arven, for Amp you very much to win the game, will be it. Yep, I think Benjamin checked it out. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that.
So unfortunate for Benjamin there, but Alex playing so clean for that game 1. Thank you very much. 3 times in a row. That's pretty good.
You can see Benjamin is a little flustered. He knows he had to play that card. He had it. And I mean, sometimes you're just thinking so far ahead that you forget to do like the simplest things, right? It generally happens to every single player. The most seasoned ones, the less experienced ones, it happens to everyone. So let's take a look, Jeremy, at the replay of this round.
It started pretty simple. After turn 1 setting up, Alex was able to get that Joltik to be able to charge up Iron Hands EX and Pikachu EX. Thanks to that Crispin. And he very much took a knockout on Badu. Pollen was really the only saving grace for Benjamin. But there we saw the Hawlucha taking out that Joltik thanks to the 2 damage from Pollens and finding that Professor's Research, allowing Benjamin to stay in the game. Alex had the Boss's orders, bring up that Dracloak with energy. Thank you very much. Then we saw what could have been the perfect turn from Benjamin. Had the Blood Moon knockout and everything, but just forgot to attach that Rescue Board in hand. And because of that, Alex had the Arven for the Prime Catcher. Thank you very much for the 3rd time of this game. Now we're going into game 2, but that has to hurt for Benjamin.
That's gotta hurt for sure. He's gonna be very aware of that heading into this game. If that had been available, we would have needed to see a Nest Ball for Sensitivity, trying to find Boss's orders in order to find it. So to find that boss to win without very much. But we're heading into game 2. Benjamin needs to recoup himself and make sure he does what he's done so far, right? To get to this point, I'm sure he's faced at least a couple of these decks since they were pretty popular along the field. And it's not the worst matchup, right? You just need to stabilize as soon as you can.
All right, it looks like Alex is going to start things off first for us yet again. This time, right on EX in the active spot. That means this tandem unit is going to find some lightning Pokemon, most likely Joltik, and one of the attackers. Now look at that prize card, Genesect and Rescue Board, along with that Psychic Energy. So only 1 Psychic Energy left in the deck for that Lily's Clefairy EX.
Yep, that Joltik being prized, not the end of the world. You only need 1, right? You actually never want to bench that second one, so you don't give your opponent that potential single prize card after the first Joltik gets KO'd. Sometimes it doesn't even get KO'd, and yeah, over on Benjamin's side, 2 Dracloaks prized. So
at the top too.
Yeah, and at the very top. So I mean, you need to survive the pressure in the beginning from that Ampy very much. And 2 Dracloaks, like you don't expect to have access to all 4, but having 2 in the prize cards means finding the other 2, drawing into them is just so less likely.
It just means evolving. Yeah, so less likely in a Dragapult. You were talking about in the beginning of this match that Benjamin has to get 2 Dracloak into play just so you can evolve one in the following turn. That's almost impossible now.
Almost almost impossible is correct. Yeah, this is definitely or it could be problematic. We'll have to see sometimes. I mean, we saw Brent Tonneson prize 3 supporters twice over the course of 3 games, and he still played as draw supporter every single turn. So definitely is something you can play with and adapt to, but you do need draws on your side. Now we're going to see that Brock's scouting to find 2 basic Pokemon, probably Dreepy and Budyu, because there was no Latias benched, there was no Nestle played for that, and so at the very least you force an energy out of your opponent, which the deck plays a ton, right? They probably have, but that means they don't have a spare energy attachment somewhere.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I thought we would have seen more of the list that took second at that special championship, Seville, playing the 4 Brock Scouting, maybe the Neo Upper Energy as well, but it has really just been unfair stamp, the deck of choice, and we've seen maybe 2 counts of Brock Scouting on list, but not really committing to the full 4.
Yeah, the Neo Upper Energy, as you mentioned, was very successful last weekend. Maybe it was just not enough time for players to be like, okay, I've been playing with unfair stamp for all this time. Sure, this did well, but do I really want to switch my deck with less than a week to go for the regional championship? I mean, I'm sure there were more players playing it because it did so well in Seville, but maybe not enough to justify most of the top players with the time they've spent perfectioning their own Dragapult decks.
And speaking of top players, we have some updates on the field from our asymmetric bracket that still was going on. Brent Tonneson winning 2-1 versus Cal Connor. Now that means the Wet Goose is on the loose in at top 8, trying to find another regional championship this season.
Yeah, I mean, Brent has had so many asim cut losses, but now he's definitely vindicating himself, and after winning one trade a couple weeks, seems like rotation really suited Brent well.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah. Benjamin doing some prize checking here is going to be writing down a little frowny face for those 2 Cloak. Energy search again in the prize cards as well.
Yep, no access to any sort of search now. I don't know if there's a body already in hand. I do feel like, in general, the Joltik deck is successful because it plays 4 Arven, 4 Crispin, 4 Boss, right? So it's just saying, well, sure, you might limit my items, but I get all the energy I need with this, and then I have so many supporters, I don't mind you locking down my items for a couple turns, and if there's a body in front, just going to get amped very much for a couple prizes anyways.
Exactly. Most of the items in this Joltik list is just Pokemon search or supporter search. You got Pokegear, Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, and if you already have a Miraidon in play, you really don't need most of those.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, Alex is free to play items. There is only 1 item card available. There's an Ultra Ball, which could get the Latias. That means you get a spare energy. You could also get the Milwaukee to draw a couple extra cards. I saw a lot of energies. I saw Crispin as well. So not the best hand. You do want to get closer to boss's orders for future turns to make sure you apply pressure to something like the energies, right? Or whatever got to evolve, that's where you want to be hitting.
We do see the Crispin from Alex. That's going to allow this Miraidon EX to retreat from the active spot and get an energy on that Pikachu EX. But opting for the Lightning on the Pikachu, Metal into the hand. Is there another way to go? Okay, you just have the Grass. All right.
Yeah. Seems fine. You play 5 Grass, 5 Lightning, so those are definitely the ones you can spare the most, right?
I just didn't want to put the Metal in retreat.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're going to see that Jolting Charge, 4 energies, 2 Lightning, 2 Grass, all of them onto Iron Hands. No difficult decision to be made. Everything is in range of amp you very much, so you can just take down whatever your opponent has in the active. To see the evolution of the Dragapult, we have an energy we could spread onto another Dreepy in order to not lose both energies in case something does get targeted, and that's exactly what we see. Now, do you play the Halucha now? I think you do, just to turn off the Resolute card. I mean, your opponent could play down another Pikachu, so yeah, Benjamin being a little careful, managing his bench very carefully, and just could have turned off the Resolute card, but wants to use that at the perfect time.
6 cards from the Iono for Benjamin. Still has that Recon Directive. Needing to find a tool for the Genesect, some more Cloak, just so you can kind of guarantee a Dragapult next turn would be the ideal scenario.
There's no Dracloak here. One card fell down. It was an energy, and the other one, I could not tell what it was. Oh, it's a research. Okay, so no second Dracloak found. No tool found either to turn off the potential Prime Catcher next turn. So Alex has 9 possible live cards to ghost this Dracloak. Oh, never mind. There's no troll for the other Dracloak.
Yeah, had to discard the Psychic Energy to do it, which is a little unfortunate, but if the Psychic Energy was early energy in hand, couldn't be attached to one of the Dracloaks that already has the Psychic. Phantom Dive taking a Psychic and a Fire to be able to be used. And then we see another Recon Directive. We find another Dracloak, maybe a couple supporters for next turn.
Yep, choice of Iono or Research. It's going to be the Research into hand that we have the choice between both, right? Next turn, you want to disrupt, you would just want to draw so many cards, and we see the pass. So, Aggression about to start, the boss's orders of the top Prime Catcher in hand, so Alex just has dealer's choice of whatever he wants to KO this turn.
Most likely going to be, I don't know, I would guess the Prime Catcher, because you see that Genesect in play, you want to use it, but there is no supporter in the hand as well, so if you just want to use your cards to the best of their ability, the boss's orders is probably the better play.
I mean, I feel like the threat of Genesect is right there. I would definitely go for the Prime Catcher. It's just too clutch. If it gets denied, it becomes a completely useless card. There's no tool removal, right? So there would be no way to turn that Prime Catcher as a viable card once again until you take down the Genesect. And I think you'd rather be taking down any of these Pokemon with their energies.
100%. Here is Nest Ball from Alex. Going to be able to search out. Looks like the Pheasantipity EX also has that Lily's Clefairy. We're going to opt with that Latias EX, though, or not. All right, Pheasantipity EX.
Definitely not an easy choice, right? Latias conserves the energy, but I mean, I don't think you value this energy on the Joltik too much. Fez covers a potential Defiance Band KO, which I don't know if Alex has that knowledge just yet, but I mean, they got to this point. It is a common card, a common enough card in Dragapult that it's worth playing around if you can, right? However, with the Bravery Charm, that does mean the Pheasantipity is unlikely to be activated next turn at all. So perhaps Mew EX could have been another option, maybe even just establishing the Clefairy EX immediately as well, especially because you could protect it with that Bravery Charm.
There is always the option for Benjamin to take a knockout on the Joltik, which is never really the right thing to do, but it is a situation that could present itself. Now, Benjamin drawing into the Dragapult EX here could be pretty good. Looking at the top 2 cards, Artisan and Dreepy, neither of those are really too great. There is the Night Stretcher. You can get the Dracloak back. Remember, there's only 2 right now available for Benjamin.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to see. The Dracloak back into play. Recon Directive is available. Now, there is a Luminous in hand, which gets nullified by the other Luminous energy, so we cannot attach that one. So we're going to have to hope we find that energy off of this Iono.
And only 4 energy, basic energy in the list. One of them is in the discard. So that means another Night Stretcher could do it, but okay, there we go, 2 fire.
That works. 2 fire energy available. We are also not taking a price card. We are doing 200 damage to this Serendipity with Phantom Dive, and to Benjamin's benefit, right? Serendipity not going down means it cannot be used. It's stuck technically in the active, and then he has 3 copies of Boss's Orders himself and 2 Counter Catcher to potentially send that back next turn and take a multiple price turn to put himself back in this game.
Benjamin also drew into that Halucha with the flying entry. Has the opportunity to bench it now, but again, I don't think if he benched it the previous turn to shut off the Resolute Heart, you're not going to bench it this turn. And it could also open up an option to take 2 prizes off the Serendipity EX just by not even attacking.
Yeah, and I mean, now with the Phantom Dive damage counters, you've turned off Resolute Heart successfully, so you are good. You've also nullified the Bravery Charm, right? So now, if you are able to find the Defiance Band, which I do believe there's an Arven in hand, you can search for that next turn along with a Counter Catcher and take that multiple price turn to put yourself in a much better spot. So now it's on Alex to make something happen, has access to energy with Earthen Vessel, has access to Pokegear as well to potentially find or try to find a Boss's Orders, while thinking of discarding the Pokegear off of that Earthen Vessel. Now, he knows that at the bottom of the deck there is 1 Boss's Orders, so I think shuffling the deck before you attempt to get the Pokegear is pretty wise. Now the real question is Pokegear the card to discard? He had 2 in hand, now he only has 1, so that's only 1 chance at Boss's Orders, because otherwise, how else do you deal with this Dragapult?
Exactly, yeah. Searching out the Psychic and the Metal. This Metal will allow Pikachu EX to attack if necessary. And Alex was maybe keeping that Arven to search for something like a rescue board so you can attach and rescue board the active away. But rescue board's prize. Might have to search for Bravery Charm, but the Bravery Charm could help this Serendipity EX stay on the board for maybe 1 more turn.
I mean, Serendipity has 10 HP left. Bravery Charm gives you 50 more. You're exactly in range, right? So, it's rough. Seems like we're not even going to try for the Boss's Order, so Alex just planning something different. I mean, obviously, like we said before, he's played a lot against Dragapult. Seems like he's eyeing up that Galvantula, so could be going for an Ultra Ball to just set some damage up onto that Dragapult EX, potentially leaving it in range now next turn for a Pikachu EX KO.
Now, the Galvantula attacks with a Grass energy, right?
A Grass, yeah, Grass and Colorless, and if it has a Lightning energy attached, it does extra damage.
So with that, Alex did not search for a Grass energy. I don't think there's a Grass energy in hand.
There is not, no, you are correct. So could that have been a mistake? Yeah, that Shocking Web requires a Grass energy to be attached. I mean, that Ultra Ball could also be utilized for Mew to draw a few extra cards. But yeah, I mean, Galvantula definitely not an option here. Seems like we're going the Pikachu route.
Attaching to the Pikachu, though, again, how are you going to retreat this active? I guess go Ultra Ball for the Latias. No, we are going to attach the Psychic to the active. Bravery Charm will put that Serendipity at 60 HP remaining. Retreat to the Iron Hands EX, and we'll just probably see an Arm Press here.
All right, Arm Press for 160. It does put the Dragapult in range of a following Topaz Bolt, but if we find Defiance Band to take this down, and we take down the Serendipity as well, then as long as we have the next Dragapult ready to go, we have the attachment, we have the Ultra Ball, we have Arven to search for that. I think Benjamin has all the pieces ready to go almost to close this game out within the next couple of turns.
This is a pretty stellar hand from Benjamin. Even having Iono if you want to disrupt a little bit, although Alex does have 4 cards in hand and 4 prizes, so Iono would just give him a new hand. We do see a Boss's Orders off the 1 Recon Directive available for Benjamin.
Yep,
again, we're also still missing the tool card, but the Prime Catcher was already used, so the Genesec's null and void on the bench anyway.
Yeah. Now, we do have Arven available. Yep, there's the Defiance Band. We also have Blood Moon as a follow-up. The Ultra Ball for that Blood Moon here. We're going to Arven for Counter Catcher.
This could
or just the Defiance Band. Yeah, no, never mind. No need for Counter Catcher. We want to take down the amp you very much, and we want to take, sorry, the Iron Hands, and we want to take down that Pheasant DPT. That Bravery Charm really made not a big difference here.
Yeah, you could even grab the counter catcher if you want for the following turn, just because you know your opponent is going to, or I guess you're going to go down 4 prizes anyway.
Yeah.
Defiance Band putting in a ton of work in this matchup.
Yeah, so good. Every damage counter being placed perfectly. 1 to turn off Resolute card, 5 to nullify the Bravery Charm, so now you have 230 HP, and coincidentally, Phantom Dive will now deal exactly 230 HP, and the preemptive energy on the Blood Moon, saying, okay, you knock out my Blood Moon, my Dragapult takes down your Pikachu. You knock out my Dragapult, my Blood Moon takes down your Pikachu. Either way, I think we're heading into a Game 3.
It's looking like that's what the writing on the wall is, Pablo, but Alex is still going to play it out to see if he can do anything. Blood Moon or Ursaluna EX of his own.
Yeah.
Has the energy in hand.
Blood Moon could be the difference maker. Now, we know that Benjamin has a Boss's Orders in hand already, and Alex plays absolutely no way to disrupt. And oh, there is 1 copy of Iono, so I guess that's what we need to find off of this Pokegear. Well, but
we're going to Arven.
Seals the deal.
That means Benjamin has game in hand. It's only just a matter of time. Alex is going to play through the motions. There's the Future Booster Energy Capsule along with Night Stretcher. Is this trying to Joltik again this turn, maybe?
Possibly. Yeah, that could be something we can do. If we go Topaz Bolt against the Dragapult, we lose the game immediately, right? So could be grabbing Pheasantipity, yep. Would Galvantula do enough damage? No, right? Because Dragapult has no abilities, so you don't get
130.
the bonus. Yeah, 130 indeed. That would be 30 damage short. We do find an energy for that Blood Moon. We're going to retreat, take the knockout on this Dragapult DX, and then Benjamin will probably flash the boss for the win.
Nah, we're going to play it out, be nice. There's the boss's orders, and there is the win for Game 2. Both of these players moving on to a Game 3 to see who will make it into top 4 of Milwaukee Regional Championships.
Great win for Benjamin. Perfectly set up, perfectly patient, and 2 Dracloak in the prizes did not stop him from winning. And you have to wonder, what if he had attached that tool card to Genesect the previous game?
Honestly,
would he have stopped? I mean, it would have come down to Alex drawing a boss's orders, but the odds were greatly reduced, and he wouldn't have had game in hand like he did, right? So we're gonna have a Game 3. Let's take a look at what happened in this Game 2.
All right, it is just yet again Joltik charging up Iron Hands EX and Pikachu. Ampy very much taking a knockout on Dreepy. 2 Dracloak prize, but that did not affect Benjamin at all. Had the double knockout thanks to that Defiance Band and getting rid of that Iron Hands EX and a Pheasantipity EX. Alex responding with the Blood Moon EX, but Benjamin already had checkmate on board. Blood Moon with that boss's orders in hand, taking the knockout. We're going to Game 3, but honestly, I think Alex is pretty favored because he finally gets to go second.
Yeah, we're gonna see Alex go second for the first time in this series. That means Benjamin will have 1 turn to set up enough 3Ps, and then Alex will immediately potentially use Joltik, have the Jolting charge ready to go. And it's just having a turn of only item cards is so much weaker than your first turn being item cards combined with a supporter right now. I'm seeing Benjamin's hand.
Oh no.
He has a Blood Moon or Halucha decision to make. So
we have seen how important that flying entry is at shutting off that Resolute Heart ability from Pikachu EX. And if you start the Blood Moon, Benjamin does have the 1 switch in hand, but it is such a liability on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it has a lot of HP, right? But it also gets in the way a lot in terms of like helping your setup and whatnot. Rescue board off the top, and I don't see any sort of help. We might just see an attached pass. There's no Puffin, no Nestball, no Artisan, nothing to help Benjamin here.
Say it ain't so, Pablo. Meanwhile, Alex has Arven in hand, I believe.
There's no
Ultra
energy,
Ball.
though. There is no energy in hand and no Joltik, so there is an Ultra Ball.
Arven for the Earthen Vessel.
Yep.
And then Ultra Ball for the Miraidon.
Yep.
Use that tandem unit to grab the Joltik, and then you're able to get that attack off.
Yeah, it's an awkward way to do it. The Ultra Ball will be costly, but, I mean, after seeing your opponent go attach pass to a Blood Moon, you have to go for everything now. There are 3 energies in the prize cards, 2 Grass, 1 Psychic. When you're playing 14, prizing 3 is almost expected at this point.
Yeah, along with 2 Ultra Ball, but you have that 1 in hand, and that's going to be the saving grace for this turn 1 of game 3 for Alex. Again, that 1 of Earthen Vessel might be coming up huge here. If that was in the prize cards, then we'd start having to worry.
Oh, for sure. Now, Joltik being prized, not the biggest of deals. I mean, of course, you'd love to deny the unfair stamp, but realistically, it's not a crucial part of your strategy, right? And if you have Mew EX in play already, you're able to venture Serendipity along the way, you're pretty covered against hand disruption overall.
There is that Earthen Vessel. Discards that Future Booster Energy Capsule. Going to find Psychic and probably a Lightning here. Maybe that Metal.
Yeah. Those 2 cannot be searched by that Jolting charge. So it's interesting how, like, the decision for the energies, because you need variety in the deck for Crispin to work, right? You always want to have multiple types available, but then you also can only attach Grass and Lightning with the Jolting charge. So there's definitely a subtle decision making that you have to make here in terms of making the correct decision. But having the free retreat of Mew, so clutch here with the little help that Alex had with his hand. He wouldn't have been able to afford a Latias. He would have instead needed to search for the rescue board perhaps. And we're even going to see a restart, or not. We're not going to see a restart for 2 cards.
I mean, I guess you don't want to risk drawing into more of those energies maybe, but I think with the way the board is set up, I think Alex is pretty fine.
Risk, yeah. Now we're going to immediately power up that Pikachu EX. Instead of the Amp You Very Much, we're saying that Blood Moon is going to be taken down next turn. We do see the Flying Entry nullifying once again that Resolute Heart ability, pretty clutch. And we have a research, right? So it's going to be all about these new 7 cards.
Is there a research?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay.
There is a research.
I only saw the boss, and I was really worried for a second.
All right. Now, that switch does mean that these energies on the Pikachu are now, I mean, they're not wasted. And the 1 card that Alex has is Crispin. So he can definitely readjust his game plan. Crispin 2 energy onto the Iron Hands, and then start using Amp You Very Much on that, or the Body or whatever ends up being active. Now, we haven't talked about Benjamin's prizes. Body is priced. There are 2 copies, though, so that's fine. Monkey Dory prize, 1 Dracloak prize, once again at the top. Not the biggest of deals, but nothing off the research, Jeremy.
That is rough. And to go along with it, Night Stretcher in the prizes, that's the 2nd copy. Discarded the 1 off the Professor's research. So right now, no ability to get stuff back. And there's the Prime Catcher bringing up the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX. Crispin, last card in hand, is going to be able to find the Metal Energy for this Pikachu EX to take the knockout. You also have Restart to draw 3 cards. This is looking pretty great for Alex.
This is amazing. That Prime Catcher top deck was so good. Now you take down any energy, any potential threat of the Blood Moon, because if you did take 2 prizes on the Hawlucha with Amp You Very Much, 1 more energy and Blood Moon all of a sudden is putting in work and knocking out your Iron Hands. So could not have asked for a single better card off the top than that Prime Catcher. And now we get a free restart for 3 cards. We don't want to see energy off the top, and we did not see any energy.
Not only no energy, found the Crispin to be able to potentially try and pull together another attack next turn, even under something like a Badulok. Dracloak off the top of the deck. That's not going to help. No Dreepy in play for that to evolve into. Looks like, what, a Brock Scouting in the hand. Iono.
Arven as well.
So Arven.
Yeah, we could go for that unfair stamp, right? Try to, I mean, Alex has 5 cards in hand. It's a good amount of disruption, but you're not guaranteeing anything. You could Arven for a Puffin, but it's turn 3. You don't want to be doing that on turn 3. And it seems like it's what we have to, right? There's no other choice. You have to hope that Alex, there's no Latias in play, so hopefully that Pikachu gets stuck for a turn. It has the Bravery Charm, so it cannot get the rescue board attached. Therefore, it's Latias or there's no Ampio very much. So that could give Benjamin a bit of a relief turn.
The one thing you have to think about, though, is Unfair Stamp, while putting Alex to 2, there is that Mew with restart on the bench. So if he draws cards to be able to play, then you can restart for more cards again. Hopefully find something like that Nest Ball to find the Latias EX.
Yeah, it makes that even weaker for sure. So restart, I mean, Unfair Stamp, I mean, we're committed to the Buddy Puffin. We want to get those 2 Dreepies into play. I mean, we could get Buddy to deny the possibility of a Nest Ball for the Latias. That seems like it could be more powerful than a second Dreepy overall, but it puts you in a situation where if they don't have Latias, but if they have Energy Boss, then you're out of Dreepies again, and you cannot win a game without Dreepies in this instance.
There is the realization that there is 3 energies in the prize cards for Alex and 7 in play and in the discard. So potentially could miss on having those last 4 energies to retreat. So if there is a potential Badu, Itchy Pollen, maybe Benjamin can buy a few turns here, but I think he's going to need to buy a lot more than a few turns, and that's going to cost a lot.
Yeah, for sure. We need a lot of relief turns at this point in time. He's not eyeing the Badu, or he is. Okay, he is going for the Badu. We need a Dreepy down as well. I think at this point, you know you have to high roll, essentially. You need to make sure, you need to hope your opponent whiffs enough times to where you can just set up, stabilize yourself, and run away with this game. So it all comes down to Alex's 5-card hand. What is in here, and can he keep up the pressure? Getting rid of all your energies to KO the Blood Moon is also a pretty big commitment for sure.
We do know there is that Crispin hanging out in the hand for Alex, so that guarantees at least an energy attachment on the active to retreat and an attachment on the Iron Hands EX to be able to amp you very much. It is looking very scary for Benjamin here.
Scary is an understatement. I mean, this is not a position you want to find yourself in when you are 1 game away from being eliminated. So we'll see if or what happens here. That Body will deny items, so no Pokegears, no Nest Balls or anything. Running low on the energies for Alex could be problematic, but we'll see if these next 2 prizes end up being worth it. Now, Benjamin does have Night Stretcher and Energy in hand for next turn to get back the Blood Moon and respond to the Iron Hands immediately, as we see a Boss's Orders off the top. But if we Boss's Orders, we can't Crispin.
Lily's Clefairy EX on the bench. There is that Crispin, going to be able to attach to the active to retreat. And I think we just might see an Ampy very much on the Badu here, putting Alex down to 2 prize cards and essentially 1 attack away from going on into our semifinals.
3 energies left in the deck. So many are prized, as you mentioned. So this could make things awkward also because, like, if you take more prizes, those energies are going into your hand, right? So you cannot be Crispined onto the board. So even though we have the Lilith Clefairy X, attacking with it could be very, very difficult because now there's only 1 metal energy left in the deck.
1 metal energy left in the deck. But again, if you take those 2 prize cards and it's 2 grass energies, right? They're going to go back in the deck because if Benjamin does not Iono, there's most likely going to be a Boss's Orders in that hand.
Well, but if you respond with Blood Moon Saluna, right, knock out the Iron Hands, like, you're fine. There's no energy on board. There's no threat on board. His energy will be used to retreat. Jolting Charge is good, but it can't make energy magically appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, the only form of recovery for energy in Alex's deck is that one of Night Stretcher. So here we go, retreating that Pikachu EX. Iron Hands EX in the active spot, amp you very much, taking out the Badu. Alex going down to 2 prize cards remaining. Benjamin has 1 hope here, and it is Blood Moon Ursaluna EX.
I don't know, off the top, I do think, oh, we don't have Night Stretcher. I thought it was available, but we're just committing the energy.
Remember, the last Night Stretcher's in the prize cards for Benjamin.
Yeah, it is right there. You're right. So there's no way to recover that Blood Moon. We're going to bring up the Clefairy. We're going to Iono 2-2 and hope there isn't an energy found to retreat, as that Dracloak just evolved, right?
Yeah.
So it comes down to, can Alex find an energy? And he got it!
Wow.
He got the 1 metal energy in the deck and boss's orders!
I feel like this is deja vu because we have seen Iono to 2 for energy boss's orders, and it is almost just inevitable for Alex to be able to take this game. Energy was already attached from Benjamin as well, so even if he did find Blood Moon or Saluna EX and like a counter catcher again to bring up the Iron Hands EX yet again, would not be available to him.
No.
We do see the Ultra Ball for Fezandipity EX going to be able to draw 3 cards, but what's there left? Maybe he gets the read.
Exactly. That's why you don't show your opponent, hey, look, I got the cards, and they go, okay, flip the script on first stamp, take them away.
Does he have it? No, it is a Dreepy, Arzon Recon Directive. No, just 2 supporters.
I mean, would you even play it if you found it? I don't think you would. It's 2 random
would.
cards, and now it's 2 new random cards. We see the retreat trying to buy a turn with the Fezandipity, and here we go. Energy for turn, boss to take down anything on the bench. Thank you very much. Alex advances to top 4.
Alex Chandler doing everything possible that he could do, just relying on the top of the deck, and gets there after that Iono to 2. Energy boss's orders seals up the game.